Alright, so this is my 0-0 Affinity Modern deck. So this is a deck for Modern. I use a Pageman, Archmage. Whenever you play an artifact spell, draw a card. This is my draw engine. This is the main engine of the deck. The main goal is to get half your deck onto the field and OTK your opponents. Alright, the way you would do that, of course, is you summon him, play a whole bunch of artifact spells, which won't be that hard since everything in here pretty much is artifact. As you can see, artifact, creatures, artifacts. Then you want to get some monsters on the field. They can attack, like Frog Might, Ornithopter, Mirror Enforcer, you know, Volt Scourge, Etch Champion, right? Get them cranial plating. And then for every artifact you have, and cranial plane counts itself, you give that much power to the monster and you attack, deal your opponent that much damage. If you have 2 cranial platings attached to that monster, of course the damage is double because the effects stack, and you can deal your opponent 20 plus damage in a single shot. You can also use cranial plating's ability by paying 2 black mana to switch it after it deals that after the monster that is equipped to deals damage. Switch it to the next monster so it can deal damage as well with cranial plating's ability. Right. So we got Mirror Enforcer. He has Affinity for artifacts. He costs 1 less for every artifact you control. If you control 7, he costs nothing to cast. He's a 4/4. Frog Might, Affinity for artifacts. Costs 1 less for every artifact you control. If you have 4 artifacts, he costs nothing to cast. He's a 2/2. Ornithopter. He costs nothing to cast. He's a 0/2 flyer. Volt Scourge. He's 1 black Pyrexian mana and 1 of any color. You could pay 1 black mana and 1 of anything, or pay 2 life and 1 of anything to cast him. He's a 1/1 flyer with lifelink, so you can gain those 2 life you sacrifice back if you use 2 lives to cast him. And of course, if you combo him with cranial plating, you can gain a lot of life. Edge Champion costs 3 of anything to cast. He has Metalcraft. If you have 3 or more artifacts, that will count himself. He will have protection from all colors in the game, which is great, which means he'll be unaffected by card effects that have color. He can't be blocked. I mean, he can't be dealt damage by any color, so he won't. In other words, your opponent won't be able to lightning bolt him, dismember, stuff like that. You know, he won't. He's not susceptible to removal as it were. So it makes a great blocker. It makes a great attacker, of course, because he'll be unblockable. So give him cranial plating and go crazy. Cranial plating, of course, I already mentioned, he gives you +1/+0 for every artifact you control. And it costs 2 to cast, 1 to equip. As the Crown Scepter, it costs 2 to cast, has imprints. When this comes into the field, you can exile an instant card with converter might cost 2 or less from your hand. And you pay 2 to tap. You can copy that exile card. If you do, you cast a copy without paying its converter mana cost. So your main targets is Mana Leak and Echoing Truth. So gotta love that. Welding Jar, 0 to cast. Sacrifice Welding Jar to regenerate target artifact. This is the way you'll protect a lot of your artifact monsters, your cranial platings, your Isochron Scepter from removal. Mox Opal has Metalcraft. As long as you control 3 or more artifacts, that counts himself. You could tap it, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any color of your choosing. So that comes in handy when you want to cast Volt Scourge, which needs black mana, or you want to cast Valdican Archmage, which requires blue mana. You know, if you want to cast Mana Leak or Echoing Truth, also costs blue mana. If you want to use Cranial Platings, a secondary effect of paying 2 black mana to move it around, that comes in handy. You can make black mana for that. We got Mana Leak, of course. One blue, 1 of anything. It's an instant, can be played during either player's turn. Counter target spell unless its controller can pay 3. Usually you use it when they are tapped out, or they don't have 3 spare mana to counter this. So it's a counter that can be countered, but typically you play it when your opponent can't afford to counter your counter, right? Echoing Truth. Pay 1 blue, 1 of anything. It's an instant, can be played during either player's turn. Return target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent to the owner's hand. It's a good way of getting rid of multiple copies of the same thing on your opponent's field. Let's say in a mirror match, right? Your opponent, he has cranial platings, multiples on a single monster. Let's say he has some mirror enforcers and some cranial platings. Well, you could choose to obviously bounce all the mirror enforcers back to his hand because of the whole summoning sickness thing. That even if he resummons them during his main phase 2, nothing can be done. It's main phase 2, right? But you don't have to worry about dealing with them for too long afterwards. But a better target will be cranial platings because he's going to have to recast them. While mirror enforcers, he could just cast them back for free. But you can bounce back the cranial plane, so you take no damage. But bouncing back the mirror enforcers will cause you not to take any damage at all. It depends. It's up to you, right? What you want to do. But Echoing Truth does not do lands because that'd be way too strong. Especially if you put it on Isochron Scepter for 2 mana, you can guarantee your opponent has no lands every turn. Yeah, that's evil, diabolical. Glimmer Void. At the beginning of the end step, if you control no artifacts, you sacrifice this card. This has the ability to tap and add 1 mana of any color of your choosing. So again, you could create black if you need black, create blue if you need blue. If you want to splash in anything else, there's red, green, white. That can cover the cost for it. Darksteel Citadel, it's an artifact land. It's both artifact and a land, so it will help you get your Metalcraft for your Etch Champion, for your Opal. It will also power up your Cranial Plating. It will allow you to make your Frogmites and Mirror Enforcers cheaper by their Affinity. It's indestructible, so you don't have to worry about people destroying it with removal spells. Unless they exile, that's different, but you don't have to worry about destruction. And tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I have Academy Ruins. Personally, I would prefer Solarian Academies, but that's not allowed in this format. Tap, add 1 mana to your mana pool. It's a legendary land, so you can only have 1 copy of this on the field at any given time. Because the legend rule applies, right? And then pay 1 blue, 1 of anything. Tap this card. Put target artifact card from your graveyard on top of your library. So that's a good way of recycling your welding jars. So you can use your welding jars to protect any of your artifact stuff. Good way of getting anything back, like an Isochron Scepter. Maybe your Mox Opal, Mirror Enforcers, any monsters, especially if you blocked with the monsters, like an Ornithopter, you block with it, it dies. You can use Ancient Ruins to recycle it, so this allows you to recycle your artifacts. which is very important so you can keep going, especially in the long grind. And that's the end of the deck profile.